So this week's Phenomenal Women Unfiltered, every week, like I have a section about maybe something that's been controversial, something that's been a bit challenging that's happened this week. And I struggled this week to figure out what to talk about because this week the girls were fighting. They were on Twitter. They were fighting. The girls were fighting on Twitter. But I said, no, I'm not going to jump into that. I don't have time to be reading days and days, reams and reams of Twitter threads about somebody who cheated on somebody, who then had a baby with somebody, who was then homeless with the baby. I'm not getting into any of that, but if you know, you know. This week, the Phenomenal Women Unfiltered is focusing on Cynthia Erivo, right? Who she is in Wicked. So we know that Wicked has just come out at the time that you're like reading this, that you're listening to this. Wicked has just come out. Can I also just say the promo for Wicked has been top notch, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I thought that the best promo for a movie I'd ever seen was Barbie, but I think Wicked have actually like done the thing. And Cynthia, I haven't seen the film yet, but apparently is so good in that film. And we know that like Ariana Grande's in it as well. Like, it's a big cast. We already know. But I was excited. I was like, this is brilliant. Like the promo has been brilliant. It's got all the people, the cast looks sick. I've heard from friends the movie is fantastic. And even people that had seen the play were like, yeah, the movie's just as good. And so, because that's a risk, isn't it? When you like are gonna create a play, a movie that's a really popular play. So I'm like, this is great. They had the red carpet, had the premiere in London, looked amazing. I was I actually know somebody who got invited, and he didn't know what he was gonna wear. Like, people were excited about this premiere, as they should, because the film, from what I've heard, is fantastic. Cool. So a few days later now, I go and I see that obviously the premiere's happened and the premiere's being reported upon in the press. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then here's where the controversy is. Certain newspapers chose, and you lot already know where I'm going to go with this. They chose to, even though there are two main characters in this film, somehow Cynthia was not on the pictures on the newspapers. They're not posting Cynthia, they're posting Ariana. Why? What is that about? How can you have a movie where there are two main characters and you are only choosing to post one? It's so bang out of order. And you know what is the most like annoying thing about this is that full well that there are loads of pictures of them together, because obviously you've just had a premiere. Every single paparazzi is going to get a shot of them two together. That's what the whole movie is about. It's going to, you cannot tell me you are an editor in any sort of newsroom up or down the UK. You cannot tell me you do not have a picture of Cynthia and Ariana together. You have it. And you looked through the pictures and you said, actually, we just want a picture with one of the main characters, and actually we don't want it to be Cynthia. Why is that? And when we point out that, I mean, obviously it's racism, so just in case you guys are wondering, when you point out the subtle undertones of racism in the UK press, people are surprised and shocked and horrified, or in denial, and it's just so blatant. Like, it's just so blatant. And it's really irritating because Cynthia's had to go further afield to go and expand her career. Like, she's doing really well in America. I know there's the American girlies are like, some of the American girlies are not like loving her, and all this stuff is going on. I don't know about any of that, but she stays booked and busy as far as I can see. And then for you to come home to have your premiere here and for the press to treat you like that, bang out of order. Anyway, so Cynthia does an interview, I think with, I can't remember who, but with another newspaper, and basically says like, I'm not surprised. Like, I'm just not surprised that this is what's happened. It's a shame, but she's not even giving it her attention. And that is a classy babe. That is who Cynthia is, because I would have been upset and maybe cussing a little bit. But she was just like, do you know what? It just is what it is. Like, it's a shame, but here we are. I'm not surprised. The UK press moves a bit mad. Like, this is me obviously summarizing. She did not say any of this. She did not say anything. She didn't say the UK press moves mad. She should have said that. She didn't. But she was like, it's not surprising. It's just a shame. And has just kept it moving. Talk about class. Talk about class. The UK press does not deserve her. Shout out to Cynthia. Shout out to Ariana. Shout out to everybody who's been part of that film. Shout out to the people who have promoted and marketed the Wicked movie. Like, they have done so well. I will be seeing it soon. I'm really excited to go and see it with a few friends of mine. The UK press needs to do better. So that's this week's Unfiltered.